I hope that you guys are doing great on this Saturday evening. Um, yeah, I hope you've been having a nice weekend overall and that your day has been either restful or even eventful, like in a good way. That would be nice. Um, but yes, with all that said, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, big time welcome to you. So that I'm hoping that you'll hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, the like button, all that good stuff. A little bit of a mixed bag on this channel. Stuff about, for instance, right now we're going to be talking about healing, and see kind of what's going on in the collective's energy right now. Like, Ren, stop. When it comes to healing, uh, like I said, this is a collective message, so we can just kind of see what comes out. If Hey Aya, what's up, girl? And then for those of you who have been rocking with your girl a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. So without further ado, I'm not going to ramble on too much. We're going to just kind of dive right in. I actually pulled some decks out already that I felt drawn to. And one of the decks I felt drawn to was the Dark Mirror, which is kind of like a shadow work deck, I guess you would consider it as. It's a really good one. My my soully and best friend, she actually recommended this deck to me, and yeah, so it's a really good one. So let's get started. I'm gonna shuffle and then pull a few from here and let's kind of see what the energy is looking like, and then we'll just kind of go from there. All right, so I've already cleansed the space and all that good stuff. So let's see what's going on with the collective. Spirit, only let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest good when it comes to navigating this part of their healing journey. All right. This is interesting. I get this card sometimes. We have Fated to Suffer here. Um, so this card, this is just on the bottom of the deck. This card represents, hi, I don't have my glasses on. I forgot them somewhere. Hey sis, what's up? So bear with me if I'm like trying to, I think it says brownie. How are you? Yeah, so bear with me because it's definitely hard to see right now. Um, Hi Crystal. All right, let's see. Let's see what's going on. What's going on? All right, I want to see what's going on for the collective. But yes, that Fated to Suffer card, it typically represents basically this energy or this idea that, those of us who might have been through a lot, I'm going to say us because I feel like I can say that. Um, I feel like sometimes when you've been through a lot of stuff, it's really hard to see past your current situations, right? Your current circumstances in which you've been feeling, very low, possibly, feeling like things are just not looking up. Maybe this is just the way my life is supposed to be, so on and so forth. And thank you for the compliment on my hair. I cannot see your name, Magnic Jr. Thank you for that. Um, but yes, this energy of, just feeling like, this is just my destiny. I guess I'm never going to, go any further than this and things like that. So you might just kind of be losing sight on, you know, having a better outlook at this time, possibly. All right, so we have black flower fragrance. And the thing is, you hide it well. You might hide it kind of well. You kind of cover up your shit, so to speak, with masking it in a way where it's very hard for people to even tell that that's what's going on. Um, I wouldn't be shocked if the masquerade card were to show up. Kind of represents the same thing. Just this energy of, kind of faking the funk. You know what I mean? Like acting like everything's all right and I'm good. Maybe having a hard time actually like divulging the things that you're going through, kind of keeping it really hidden. Um, Getting something like that. Let me know if any of this makes sense or resonates with any of you guys so far. We're just getting started, so the messages might come out a little bit slow at first, but they'll pick up. This card really wanted to come out because it was on the bottom of the deck. I just saw it. Excuse me. We have today for tomorrow. I feel like a lot of you guys are trying to slowly change your outlook on life, but it's been difficult, right? I think you guys want to be in a better, space, and work on yourself, and be happier, so on and so forth. Trying to remain optimistic for the future, but sometimes what happens is when we're too focused on the future, and I've been learning this, that's what causes like anxieties and things like that, and fear. When you're living too much in the past, then that causes other things too. But when we learn how to live for the present moments, it definitely starts to change our outlook about what's happening in our lives, and be able to again be present and understand what's happening in these moments at this time, versus focusing too much on things from the past or focusing too much on the future. Hope that makes sense so far. Let's get maybe one or two more from this deck. Told you Masquerade was gonna come out. I felt it. Yeah, so Masquerade is here. Definitely, wearing a mask. Trying to, pretend that everything's okay in front of other people. I'm getting something like that. If anybody understands that, it's me. I'm getting people who also compartmentalize a lot. How to kind of like, how to keep things separate. So like, whatever's going on in your life in one area doesn't usually impact the other areas. And if it does, it's not very, very overtly. It's like kind of like, you know, I hope that makes sense. It's like, it's not something that, some people like, they bring, say, they bring the home stuff, they bring it to work. You ever meet those kind of people, or vice versa? Like, I feel like you guys know how to separate them or something like that. Which is not necessarily a bad thing, but again, it's one of those kind of things where it makes it very hard for people to distinguish what's going on with you. So people who are even close to you might not have any idea. um you might be in your head a lot, obsessing about something, not sure what that is. It's going to be different for everybody. It could just be your current circumstances. Yeah. Wow. Got parasite here on the top of the deck. Something like really sucking you dry, and not in a good way. Um, Here I go being pervy. I have a potty mouth, sorry. But no, seriously. Yeah, something just like taking from you. And then we got the obsession card on the bottom. It's interesting. There's something happening around you guys right now that's like really draining your energy, whether it's within yourself, like maybe overthinking and stuff like that, losing sleep because of overthinking, or it could be somebody or something in your circumstances that drains you. Take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. Yeah, and then we got in the middle of the deck, hiding your true self. I mean, come on. You guys are definitely like keeping things under wraps. People don't even know what's going on with you. You probably don't even know what's going on with yourself sometimes, you know what I mean? Let's get one more from here. Might even be in a little bit of denial about how some of the stuff is impacting you, whatever these things are. We're going to dive deeper. Yeah, look, came out officially on the spread now. Hiding your true self. Wow. Okay. My ear just started doing a really crazy buzzing sound. Not ringing, but buzzing. Almost sounded like static electricity. Ah, I knew it. There's a reason why I got drawn to this fucking card. I mean, this deck. Inner Child Oracle. We're gonna definitely pull from there in a little bit. For some of you, this hiding your true self stuff stems from childhood. I had a feeling. I knew it. I just had a feeling it was gonna show up. A lot of you guys have been in this energy for a while. I don't know, and it's funny because like I started with the parasite card. I started picking up on like, I don't know why I was picking up on parents, and then I was picking up on parents with that to, or just childhood in general. It doesn't have to be your parents in general, but, or in particular, but it could be expectations or something that were placed on you as a kid or something like that. I'm getting something along those lines already. Um, but yeah, the today for tomorrow, it's like you're trying to remain optimistic about the things coming forward, but at the same time, there's a lot of stuff that still, causes the anxieties of the stuff that's going to happen in the future, because you're like, okay, well, me stepping out of my comfort zone and doing something for myself versus for everybody else, in particular, parents, grandparents, the family, so on and so forth. There's expectations that might have been placed on you since you were a kid. Even right now, my throat is like acting funny, like throat chakra trying to close up. You might have felt stifled for a long time. You might still feel like this. Clearly it's showing up in the reading. So I mean, the fact that the child I was meant to be, top of the deck, what we got, envious gluttony. There might be some, because remember, this deck is about the shadow self, right? So it's like, there might even be some, like, envy. Hey girl, I just had said in the beginning that my sister, solely bestie, was the one who recommended this deck to me, the Dark Mirror. I love this deck. So I had to get it when you let me see it. And yeah, I love this deck. So I love you too. I was definitely recommend checking out my girls who are here. Caster River. She's on Facebook and she does readings. Amazing reader, amazing person. Same thing with Aya Inspired Tarot and my girl Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show. Definitely subscribe to all of them. Amazing readers, amazing people. You will not be disappointed. Yes, I always make sure I look out for my peoples, okay? But yes, like I said, this is about the shadow self right now, right? So there might be parts of yourself that, like, you might look at people who you grew up with or something like that, or cousins and things like that, and you're like, damn, how is it that I am in the situation that I'm in, yet I'm trying to do everything right, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, but these people are all doing better than me. Keep in mind that's very subjective, right? So it's like, what does that even mean? What does that mean? What does it even look like? We all have our different struggles and stuff in life. Even the people who seem like they have their shit together, even they have, stuff going on, right? We don't know what it took to get a person to be there. So it's like, you know, but when you're looking from the outside, like when you're on the outside looking in, or sorry, from the, when you're looking, from the outside of the situation, you're looking at other people possibly, and you might get a little bit, envious of certain people. Like it's one of those things that might be very hidden that you don't realize you're doing it, but you might think to yourself, like, what the fuck? Like, how the hell are they doing so great and I'm in this shithole situation? Like, this is some bullshit. Like, it's not intentional. That's why it's unseen. It's a as Lati just said, unseen pattern that might be happening for some of you. Yeah. And I think part of it also has to do with the fact that maybe you're that some of that resentment and stuff that you're starting to feel, and envy and all that stuff, is also because you realize now maybe you forgot yourself for so long, what you wanted this whole time, what you've had a hard time being able to say, okay, enough's enough. I have to do things for myself now, things that I want for me, not for everybody else. It makes it very difficult for you to be able to say, oh, this is what I'm going to do for me now. Um, Definitely one of those easier said than done kind of circumstances, right? Let's see. I think I'm going to pull from this deck now, the tarot, and then we're going to look into other oracle cards a little bit later. But I wanted to just kind of get the general consensus of where this reading might be going. So it's definitely looking like kind of like a past, trauma slash childhood stuff, possibly popping up in this reading. So it might get a little bit heavy. I hope I don't start crying on camera. That shit's pretty lame. But we never know. So let's see what is going on. And shuffle this. What else does the collective need to know about this energy that we're seeing here? I think I'm going to do a cross of truth for this one. I think that would be a good one. We'll dive deeper. Okay, so we have High Pro. I think I see where this is going, possibly. All right, let's just see. High Priestess here on the bottom of the deck. I'm getting highly intuitive people, inner knowledge, esoteric knowledge. Um, I'm also getting secrets. Um, but there's definitely something that's like, beyond stuttering. Did any of you guys ever have a speech impediment when you were a kid? Like a stutter or a lisp? Let me know in the comment section. Um, or like delayed speech when you were little. I don't know why they told me to say that. But yes. We have Two of Cups on the top of the deck, and then the middle of the deck we have King of Wands. Interesting. Getting secrets within the family type thing. Maybe like your parents or something. Maybe an image that was kept up. This is not going to resonate with everybody, so please take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. But there might have been some of you guys who came from a background where, if especially if you did have like both of your parents, um, might have been a situation in which, you know how, like, especially, not to be funny, in the black culture, this happens a lot. The whole what happens in this house stays in this house kind of thing, and not telling anybody about those things, keeping it all under wraps. Nobody knows anything. So let's say if there was any physical abuse in the house. This is as an example. That's not that might not be your story, but I'm just using that as an example. Physical abuse in the house, that kind of thing. Things not being as I just heard ruled with the iron fist. Um, might have literally been an iron fist, like, that kind of shit. You might have witnessed some of that, and you had to keep up appearances because that's what was the family thing to do. Where a lot of us who are around my age or even slightly younger and older, grew up in an era where you didn't say shit. That stuff Kate was under wraps. DCF, what the fuck is DCF? Yeah, okay, you go ahead and tell somebody anything and whoop your ass in the school when I get there. You know what I mean? In front of the principal, like they didn't care back then. We're real different now, but like back then, totally different era. Depending on the era you might have grown up in. But I'm getting something like that. I think I'm getting kind of like you guys are going to be the generational curse breakers. This is like one of the things that you're kind of called to do in some kind of way. Speaking up about something. I can already see this is going to get heavy. All right. I already knew that was going to happen. I told myself earlier too, I was like, if I go live, I really want to do something lighthearted because it's Saturday. Who wants to be watching readings about heavy topics? But Spirit told me to read about this. So that's what I'm doing. All right. So let's see what else is going on with the collective. Clear some most accurate message. The Emperor here in the middle of the deck. As I said, rules with an iron fist. The Emperor is definitely that type of energy. Got the Hierophant. So I think that there's going to be I'm getting like you guys are in the process of getting a couple things. One, some of this could be about not just parents in general, but it could be very, very particular about a father figure, possibly. But I'm also getting that this is a time in your life right now where you guys are kind of trying to take control and charge of your life. You're trying to figure out how do you break these patterns and these curses and things of that nature. But it's hard because, again, for so long you had to keep up appearances. So now it's like, okay, so how do I break the mold? You're really going to be challenging, the things that you thought you knew, the Hierophant on the bottom of the deck, your value systems, your belief systems, everything you thought you knew is going to be challenged. It's going to tear your world upside down if it hasn't happened already. um, or at least that's what it feels like. I wouldn't be shocked if the Tower were to show itself at some point in this reading. Um, but this causes a lot of anxiety. I did say that I was picking up on this energy of a lot of you guys possibly losing a lot of sleep at this time, overthinking, being in your head a lot of fear, anxiety, sleepless nights, stuff like that. Just trying to figure it all out. Where to go from here. Yeah, as I say, where to go from here. Seven of Cups, which is about all being all in your head. Might be having some really crazy ass dreams. Might be astral projecting for some people. I'm not sure why I picked up on that, but some of you might be. Um, some of you might be even having like dreams of which where it could be like recurring dreams of things that you've kind of forgot about from like repressed memories almost that are resurfacing now out of nowhere. And you're like, what the fuck is this? That seems very specific, but yeah, definitely trying to take control of your lives at the very least to try to figure out where to go from here. When it comes to this particular part of I was gonna say battle. That's not the word I wanted to use, but I wanted to say journey. But the word battle came out, and maybe it's because it's like a internal battle at this time and external too, right? There's these external factors that contribute to where you're going with this. It's very interesting. All right, tell us more. Okay, so we have two cards that came out together. We got the Ten of Swords, which represents like major endings, as well as like endings of like hard times, pain, betrayals. Um, it's giving me that, and then we got the Justice here. So yeah, I mean, I am definitely getting again. You guys are the ones that are going to be breaking the mold here. All of those different things that I'm getting like you know karmic debt when it comes to the familial line. I'm getting something along those lines here. You're kind of the one that's going to, have to. Sorry, I'm getting a download. Can't make out what they're trying to tell me. What the hell? It's like I'm hearing something, but I can't make out what the hell they're saying. It's frustrating. Um, hopefully, I could get that message again. I can't figure out what they were trying to tell me on that one. Um, but yeah, maybe that maybe it's that. Remember saying stifled energy, almost like they don't want you to know anything. Um, I just saw this, like someone covering someone's mouth, like weird. Yeah, it's like something doesn't want me to tell some of these things because, yeah, yeah, you guys are leaving all those things behind. The Three of Wands in the middle of the deck, you're leaving a lot of things behind. And these are things that are going to help, in a way, really improve the bloodline. So you guys can move forward. And it's it's funny because it's like you guys didn't think you were gonna be the one to do nothing like this. Like that whole the card of that said the child I was meant to be. Like I'm pretty sure you weren't expecting to be this person as an adult, right? It's like the fuck is this? I didn't sign up for this shit. You probably did on a soul level, and you just didn't realize it. But we all have soul contracts that we have to fulfill, right? Well, for those of you who believe in that kind of thing. I'm getting something like that, but those scales are balancing, and you're the one to do it. Yeah, there will be victory and success with this, with the Six of Wands here. Yeah, yeah, your spiritual team working towards happiness, major transformations and endings, the Judgment. Yeah, like wow, yeah, and it has to do with the family, with the Ten of Cups. So I mean, yeah, this is what you're meant to do. You're meant to be the one to kind of help heal the family line, the lineage. Tell us more. The Fool. Yeah. You guys are embarking on a very, very new journey here. A lot of major arcana here, by the way. Almost every card here is a major arcana. Um, major time of your life right now. That's very, very different, scary, confusing. And I can see why you guys are kind of, I'm getting ego death too. It's like, again, everything that you thought you knew is all being questioned. And it's like now you have to really reevaluate everything, including who you thought you were and what you wanted, right? The things that you kind of kept under wraps, even about yourself, about the things you truly wanted in your life. Now it's like, now you have to be like, okay, shit. I've been wanting certain things for so long. It gets to a point where you might not even know your ass from your elbow, as my friend would say. Ali would say that. But yeah, bending over backwards people pleasers. I'm getting people pleasers possibly here. People who have done everything for everybody else, living, a lie in a way, lying to yourself about what it is that you truly want, making yourself believe that you're satisfied with where you are in your life when you know damn well that you've always wanted something more or something different than what life kind of has handed you, or the things that you've allowed to perpetuate over time. You didn't have any control over it as a kid or a teenager, even you maybe even in young adulthood, but now that you're getting older, that's where that's that's where the changes start to really come in, and you have to figure it all out. um, I just heard failure to launch. Yeah, it was like a long time coming to get to this point. This wasn't something that just happened overnight, and that's why that's what makes it even more like complex, because it's like, I feel like your spirit guides have been trying to guide you for a while, and now it's like, oh, it's like now I'm ready for this battle, so to speak. But the thing is, you're a lot more well equipped than you think you are, because you're protected. Um, your ancestors, your spirit guides, they got your back. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah, this is definitely a time of soul searching with the Hermit card here on the bottom of the deck. Yet another major arcana here. Yeah. As I said, I keep remember I kept saying, but like you're ready for battle of some sort. Look, Five of Wands. It's really that internal and external conflict of trying to figure it out. Where do I go? How do I improve my circumstances and also that of those who are coming after me? Your own kids, your grandkids, so on and so forth. This topic has come up a lot, and I'm going to just mention it. There might be molestation that has happened in some of your lives, whether it's you or a relative or somebody like. And again, that hush hush. Remember, I was going felt stifled. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like either there was a fear of ever saying anything, or you did say something, and then if this applies to you, and nobody believed you, or they said, oh well, just don't say anything about it. And it's like, so here I am, telling my parent or whomever that this happened to me, and nobody's doing anything about it. Great. Hush hush. um and that, again, that's something that has been very very common, in different communities. I would say especially the Black community. That is one of those things that you got that creepy uncle who like lets kids sit on their laps and stuff, and then everybody's like, oh, I wouldn't let my kid around them, but nobody says anything other than something like that. Like, it's crazy. Thankfully, I think that people are a lot more aware of these things and talking about it more, and between people going to therapy now, because remember that used to be a white thing to do, which is the dumbest shit ever. But this, I'm just saying, for those of you who understand where I'm coming from, um, we're learning, right? We're healing. Um, but this is something that happens to a lot of people, and a lot of people either don't talk about it at all, or and then it keeps resurfacing, in patterns as an adult, or again, they talked about it, but it was never addressed properly. So it becomes maladaptive behaviors. I just heard promiscuity. No judgment. Um, that's actually a very common thing. If you actually like did your research on that, a lot of people who are very promiscuous, a lot of them have been molested in their past, as a child or a teenager. It's their way of basically, like, there's a psyche behind it. There's like this idea that if that happened to them, they get to be selective about who they decide to be intimate with, and it's like having control over their body, but it's a maladaptive behavior. So it's very, very it's not a healthy coping mechanism, but that's what they tell themselves sometimes. This is something that tends to happen a lot. I learned that in a couple of my psychology classes too, like an abnormal psych class, and another one as well, psychology of addiction. I think I learned something about that too. But I was like, wow, it's interesting. A lot of people become sex addicts and stuff for stuff. I'm not saying every person who's a sex addict or something like that was molested. I'm not saying that, or every single person who's promiscuous is like that either. But there is a correlation there. Just saying, you can look it up. But anyway, like I said, definitely doing that soul searching. It's definitely one of those things that, you're just, trying to navigate this part. And I guess that's why I felt drawn to read about this, because like before I came on, I actually asked my cards. I was like, what kind of reading? Okay, first I was like, Spirit, what kind of reading, or should I do a reading? That's what I said. And then they were funny. They were like, what did they say? They said Two of Swords, and then they put the Chariot. And I'm like, so basically you're saying obviously you have free will here, but if you're going to read about something, you probably want to talk about moving on from something with success and victory. Okay, cool. So then I'm like, so what should I read about? And then they gave me the Star, and I was like, oh, healing energy, cool. I think that's what I'm going to read about. And then I got drawn to the decks I picked out, and boom, now we're here. So they wanted me to talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it. All right, so exactly, Lati, exactly. Don't sit in their lap. Like I remember one time using myself as an example. I want to, talk too much because y'all probably like, okay, bitch, get to the point with the cards. But just a quick little tidbit. So I had an uncle through marriage who was that creepy uncle that he used to abuse my aunt. And like when I say abuse, I mean like he abused her. He used to beat her ass and almost tried to kill her. He pushed her out of a moving car, like all kind of stuff, right? She's lucky that she's still alive. But yeah. And one time I sat on his lap. Well, he put me on his lap. I was like maybe 8. And my dad spanked me when we got home. I'm like, what the hell did I do? I didn't even do anything. It was a birthday party. I think my cousin's birthday party. And my dad spanked me when I got home. He also used to yell at me about, I hope my dad doesn't watch this. Yeah. He hasn't watched my stuff in a while though, so I don't think that he'll see this. But he also used to spank me if I would come down in a nightgown when his friends were home, at the house, like jamming out and stuff. If I had to go like to the kitchen or something, and I'm like, how do I get in trouble? Because they're creepy, But again, this is one of those kind of things that was not. It was something that was so hush hush in the family. These type of things that the kids were the ones ridiculed for being fast or something like that versus the adult being, like you said, being held accountable. So this is just using that as an example. But anyway, tell us. I'm trying to say, tell us more. All right. Let's see. Should I take these? Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna take these because I was gonna ask what is. I said it in my head. I didn't get to say it out loud, but I was asking what's kind of like the basis or the root of all of this. And look, we got that same card we saw earlier in the reading on the bottom of the deck. Now it's officially on the spread. We got that High Priestess, and it came out with the Queen of Swords. Yeah, so those came out together, and it's definitely giving. And again, so many major arcana. Literally, of all the cards that are on the spread right now, there's only 2 cards that are not major arcana. Excuse me. This is a time for you guys to, one, use discernment, stand firm in something when it comes to cutting things out. Making that conscious effort and decision to move on and embark on this journey, 2 of Wands. A hard choice to make because nobody wants to be the martyr, right? It's like why me? But again, this is a part of your journey. 5 of Pentacles, getting out of hardships. I'm also getting abandonment issues. So if any of you guys had any like issues with like childhood abandonment issues, that was a redundancy, my bad. Um, but yes, if you did have any of those type of issues, that's kind of popping up too. Um, yeah, it makes a lot of sense that you guys are feeling the way you're feeling, going through what you're going through. Yeah, gotta release that with this Four of Pentacles in the middle of the deck. It's time to let that stuff go. Um, tell your truth, I'm getting to, as my voice is sounding a lot clearer than it was just a few minutes ago. Um, yeah, it's time to speak up about these secrets, these things that happen behind the scenes that need to be exposed. Wow, that's deep. All right. Tell us more. Whew, okay. That's obviously way too many cards. But did I see the tower though? Try to kind of keep its little head. After I said I feel like the tower moved. Yep, told you. And look, it's, the funny part is it's like almost in the middle of this whole little spread that just came on. Look, told you. That tower just sitting there chilling. It's like, yep, I'm gonna make myself known some way or another. um, happy they didn't just fall all over the place. That's been happening a lot. Like, cards just flying all over the place. I'm like, come on. I don't have to pick all these damn cards up. All right, got the Ace of Wands here. Yep. So Ace of Wands, that's about passionate new beginnings. Sometimes it could be about like creativity and stuff like that. In this particular case, I feel like it's just about, this is something that you know that you're meant to do. So you have to do it, essentially. Um, I think that overall, you know, you haven't been feeling fulfilled in life in general to begin with, right? With this Four of Cups here. But now they're like, you know, that might be true. However, there's a time to find a sense of strength within yourself, and confidence to do this. You can do this. And yes, it's going to be difficult. We got this Five of Wands here again. They're like, you know, this is going to be tough. You know, you might even have to lose out on, well, it's not really a loss if you ask me, but there might, if this is like the stuff that we were just talking about possibly for some of you. And even if it's not like that, like, you know, that's not gonna be for everybody, right? Like that's not gonna that did not happen to every single person who's up watching this. I know that. But either way, there's definitely something amiss that, you know, is going to be addressed some kind of way, that you're going to bring some light to, and, you know, it's going to cause some conflicts, and some people are not going to like it. They're going to be like, why are you telling our business and things like that? Well, it is what it is. You know, when you have to learn how to, you know, cut certain people out of your life or whatever you have to do, it happens. You know, shit happens. Tough titty, as my grandmother would say. But let's just clarify Ace of Wands though. Talk a little more about that one. So like, yeah, mostly major arcana, and then we got that ace there too. Wow, this is a big deal, guys. Yeah, letting go. Four of Pentacles here. Queen of Wands, again, that sense of confidence, being confident and standing on business when it comes to, you know, being, and then we have that Queen of Swords too. Those are very, you know, assertive individuals, like, who, you know, don't play those games. They about that life. So, you know, the Hermit, you know, this is maybe a time of isolation. You might feel very isolated from certain people in your family, possibly because of this situation that's coming up, or that might be talked about or exposed or whatever. These different topics that, now this sounds very, very interesting. I'm getting that for some of you, know how like I'm talking about like the family secret kind of thing. One of the things might have been substance abuse. Um, I'm kind of getting something like that for somebody. Again, that prim and proper, everybody's like, oh, everything's perfectly fine with the family. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with this family, the Hierophant. This marriage is perfect, and then nobody's talking about, the dad that's like, getting drunk and beating the shit out of the wife and the kids, or, the mom who, is taking like, sleeping pills and mixing it with her alcohol. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know why that came up. And, it's funny. Like, it's not funny, but what's ironic is I've been watching a lot of like, like serial killer stuff and like true crime stuff. I mean, I watch that stuff all the time anyway. But like I finished watching the a lot of you guys probably have watched it too because it's like super popular right now. The Menendez brothers docu series on Netflix. Now I knew about that case already for a long time. I've done my research on it and stuff, and I always like wondered, did they really get molested? Blah 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 blah. And then when I watched that shit, that they purposely made it in a way where it puts you in a position where you still have questions. Like you have to use your own discernment on that and be like, It's very open ended the way that they left it off. Like, did they do it for the money, or did they really do it because they were being molested by their parents? Like, or by the dad in particular, and the mom knew. You know what I mean? And then the mom is, hopped up on pills and alcohol. Right? It was all these family secrets, but then everything was kept under wraps, very hush hush. Now that was in '89 when that happened. So you see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why that popped in my head, but like spirit told me to kind of bring that up. Like, you know, those images that have been portrayed as the perfect family, something wasn't all wrapped up so tight. And if it wasn't your own parents, maybe it could have been grandparents or something, aunts, uncles. It doesn't have to be necessarily, directly under, you, but maybe you knew something about something. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's gonna look different for everybody. Take it as it resonates and leave it if it doesn't. But yeah, there's a lot going on here. All right, so let's see. Because I definitely am picking up on this mostly being about the childhood. We're gonna pull some cards from the inner child deck and see what comes out. Give me 1 second. All right. All this talking making me thirsty. All right, so I'm gonna pull from here. See what's going on. Yeah, see, they're deflecting and projecting. That obviously has nothing to do with you, but they're upset because they have to be upset with somebody. Happens a lot. The thing is, like, unfortunately, they're gonna have to figure that out for themselves. Because you could tell them until you're blue in the face how the cards wanted to like spill out. um, not done shuffling. I was gonna take those, but if they're meant to come out, they will. I don't know what they were, but all right. All right. Bottom of the deck, we have practice freedom, release the weight of judgment. Yep, those who judge you, judging others, so on and so forth, judging yourself, right? Maybe beating yourself up about something I'm getting. you know, and again, it's because stem as far back as childhood, because this is a, you know, inner child deck here. But they want you to release that. They want you to free yourself of that, because, you know, that's no longer a burden meant for you to bear at this time. Definitely letting that go. Um, so let's get like maybe 3 or 4 from here. We're gonna pull from a couple more decks. That will be the end. I do hope that this reading has been resonating with you guys, or you find it helpful. Even if it's not your exact story, I'm hoping that there's at least some tidbit that does help on this part of your journey. All right. So we have spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. So, you know, some of you might benefit from, you know, maybe meditating outside, grounding. I'm getting spending time by bodies of water, understanding the cleansing properties of being near bodies of water and stuff like that. As you kind of find a sense of balance within yourself. Thank you. You are enough. Wow. You are enough. You do not have to give more. Right. I was definitely picking up on earlier, like this energy of like, you know, feeling like you, and I kind of said it, like I alluded to it. I said something along the lines of, you know, feeling like you had to live for other people, like, but not for yourself, you know, which, you know, having to live that type of life of having to always feel like you have to do everything right, you have to be perfect, you have to, you know, uphold an image for the family, you have to go to the best schools, you have to get the best grades, you have to be great at all the sports, like I'm getting stuff like that. You have to help with the family business, like I'm getting stuff like that. And it's like, you know, that might have really made you feel inadequate during different periods of your life, you know. So there might be a fear of even inadequacy when it comes to doing what it is that you have to do here on this part of your journey, where it's like, okay, you're meant to, you know, embark on this, you know, breaking these generational curses. And you might feel like, but can I do this? Am I good enough? That's why they want you to have confidence in yourself. You showed up as a Queen of Wands. They're like, you gotta, you know, really stand up and do this, because this is what you're being called to do. Your ancestors are calling you to do this. Your soul tribe, not your soul tribe, your soul family. Well, it's kind of the same thing, but I'm thinking more like, you know, in the 5D. um, yeah. Yeah, I'm also getting, you might have felt like you never fit in or belonged. Getting black sheep vibes. I'm also getting, I felt this earlier, but I didn't say it, but I'm going to say it now, especially with how the High Priestess showed up more than once in this reading. Another energy I picked up from that particular card, and I'm just going to say this too. If, let's say, if it came from a very, very, very spiritual upbringing, like, or not spiritual, religious upbringing, and you have gifts too, right? Intuitive gifts, psychic gifts, whatever, right? Or even with the Hierophant that came out, you might just have differing belief systems from your family or something like that. That could have made you feel very, very shut out in a way when it comes to being able to speak about how you view things, or being able to talk about, you know, and share the gifts that you possess. Or if you're more, you know, spiritual versus religious, so on and so forth. Um, Making it difficult to relate to, you know, your own family. Being able to speak your full truth and be authentically, you know, true and authentically yourself. Getting something along those lines. Um, yeah, like I know, for instance, in my family, at least on my mom's side, I come from a very religious background. It took me forever to say on my Facebook that I do this. Um, so that I wouldn't be judged. Now I don't give a fuck. But like before, I did care. And it's one of those kind of things where, you know, it makes you feel very isolated. We did see that hermit card show up too. you know, that sense of feeling like you're, you know, very withdrawn, like a recluse, you know. It can be kind of lonely, you know, but they don't want you to, you know, this is a time I think like to know that you do belong and you can fit in somewhere. Um, and you know, this journey is also going to, I think, help you find like, and I think that's why I said that. I said soul tribe. I said that, or soul family. That's not really the words I wanted to use in the context, but it came out, and now I'm understanding why that was said. This is more. This is going to be a time where that will happen for you, and it's going to feel very refreshing. I will tell you that because you know you're going to notice that there's going to be these for lack of a better word, these endings or closures of certain cycles, patterns, relationships, where you're going to be like, oh, wow, I would have never seen that coming. Trying to understand what it all means and why it's happening. But it's happening because those situations, those people, those relationships no longer serve you. Therefore, you have to move on from them. So, felt like putting that tidbit out there. I was trying to say that. All right, let's get two more from here. Like I said, I do hope that you guys are resonating with this message and you find it helpful. Let it come forth. Give yourself permission to feel it. Yeah. Oof, guys. Feeling all of that energy that you're gonna have to feel during this time. If you ever had it like kind of, that's why Masquerade was there. And the what was it, Black Flower Fragrance, right? Yeah. Those are all the Masquerade and all, like, you know, hiding your true self. Like they're basically saying this is going to be a time to do some purging. Definitely a purging energy. Um, because it's like a parasitic kind of thing that's drawing on you guys right now. So you're gonna have to release that shit and allow yourself to feel these emotions. Say what needs to be said. Um, Journaling is definitely a good way to do that. Going to therapy, another great way. Um, there's a lot of like shadow work journals and things like that that could be helpful. So many different things that you can do to kind of allow yourself to feel these things and, you know, express these different feelings and emotions. Um, and kind of, I keep hearing the word purge. Yeah, kind of purge. Um, Yeah, I'm even getting cord cutting for somebody. I'm not sure why they told me to say that, but that might be for someone in particular. Like a good cord cutting might be good if you're into that kind of thing. Um, that might be helpful. I've been wanting to do one of those myself. Um, yeah, a few different things I'm picking up on here. But the biggest one is allowing yourself to feel your emotions. I know that sounds so cliche nowadays because everybody wants to talk about their feelings and being emotionally intelligent and things like that, but it's important. It really is. To be able to, you know, understand your triggers, for instance, like when somebody does or says something, right? And it brings back an emotion or a memory. You're trying to figure out what it means and why do you feel like that? Being able to pinpoint why, you know? So journaling in this case is actually very, very helpful. Um, it'll help you also uncover some things that you might have been kind of avoiding paying attention to. Things that have lied dormant for a while that might be, again, surfacing. Mm. I just decided to look on the bottom of the deck. It says, and ironically, the number on here is the number 10. It says, disappointment is not the end. There is hope even in the darkest of nights. Yeah, it's like giving like dark night of the soul type of energy. And we did, with that justice card, came out that 10 of swords, you know, balancing those scales. So there's definitely these endings that are happening, but they're going to, you know, bring light to something. I mean, there's literally like, almost like it's giving like light at the end of the tunnel kind of vibes. Top of the deck, it says, say yes. Now is the time to be open and receive. Um, I'm getting that a lot of times you guys are like the giver in relationships and stuff throughout your life, friends, family, so on and so forth. Like romantic relationships too, always giving, giving, giving. And I feel like, this is a time to understand the importance of reciprocity in relationships, that they shouldn't be one-sided, whether it's because you watched, your own parents or something like that do this shit, and then started repeating those patterns, getting something like that for somebody. But nonetheless, this is definitely a time to, yeah, because I was talking about the people pleasing thing earlier too. Yeah, time to work on that, set those healthy boundaries, especially because we did see that Queen of Swords earlier too. All right, so let's see. Let's get one more from here. Another card representing endings. Wow. It is never truly the end. And it says, beloved, in this, everything will be okay. Yeah. When you sever these ties and things like that, for instance, like it just means that there's going to be a new beginning somewhere else. I think that's also why the Chariot showed up too. When I was asking my cards, what should I read about? And it was definitely giving me this energy of like successful completion of a chapter. I mean, the world kind of represents the same thing, but you know, the Chariot is kind of like, an ending that has been successful, that's going to allow you to move on with victory. So I felt like that, and that card was very significant. Um, Even though it's not in this reading, it was the energy that was like that, was presented to me before the start of this one. I was about to use the word commencement before the commencement of this reading. Like it talks like that. Bottom of the deck, pull yourself close. Every part of your being is deserving of love. Wow. I'm also getting, okay, let me know if this resonates or not. But I'm getting, especially because I'm looking at the imagery on this card, I'm getting that some of you guys have suffered, I don't want to say suffered, but have dealt with like a lack of physical touch when you were younger. I don't know why I'm getting that. So some of you might resonate with the idea of one of two things. Either you crave physical touch now because you didn't receive it as a kid. When I say physical touch, I don't mean like in a weird way. I mean like hugs, nurture that we should get from, the trusting adults in our lives, our parents, our grandparents, so on and so forth. Hugs and, things like that. Some of you might not really have experienced that when you were younger. So you either crave it now, like that might be your love language now, physical touch. Whereas other ones of you might be like, ugh, like repulsed by it, like please don't touch me. It's like that feels weird. I don't like it. You know what I mean? I'm getting one or the other for some of you. Um, but I'm also getting that some of you guys might. Now this is more like an adult thing, but like I'm also kind of getting that this based on the feeling I'm getting from this card. If you deal with like body image issues, for instance, you might have a hard time with your own self-love. Therefore, you don't feel lovable or attractive. So when someone tries to touch you, like if in a romantic connection, for instance, you feel like you kind of, you might kind of do one of these, like, oh, I'm ugly, or you might cover parts of your body because you don't want them to see it or touch it. That seems very specific. Let me know if that resonates for anybody. But I am picking up on something like that. So yeah, physical intimacy for some of you might be one of those weird things sometimes, or just like I said, physical touch and contact in general. Like you might be a person who doesn't like hugs or something like that, or absolutely loves hugs and hug you. Were like, wow, you sure are a hugger. Like, a little bit weird. But I also learned, and this is piggybacking on what I just said. A lot of times, I learned recently that most people, when it comes to love languages, whatever your love language is, a lot of times it is the opposite of something you experienced as a kid. So example, like I just said, for those of you who might crave physical touch, or that's your love language, can't talk, love language, it might be because you didn't get a lot of that as a kid. Or people who love words of affirmation, you might not have gotten that as a kid. You might have always gotten, like, all the ridicule and stuff for everything that you try to do, making you not feel good enough. So now it's like, ooh, I love when somebody says nice things to me. It makes me feel good about myself. Um, and same thing here, Lati. My love language is acts of service too. Nobody really did things for me. I usually was always the one doing stuff. So it's like, not to like knock my parents or anything, but like, they did what they needed to do as my parents. They were great parents, like, most of the time. Not the stuff that I had to see as a kid, like in terms of like the bad stuff, like with their relationship, but like my parents as parents were pretty good parents, I would say. Um, Perfect, no. So I'm definitely not ridiculing them or anything, but you know, we could all do better, right? And myself included as a parent. Um, so I say that to say, now I'm like, oh, it makes sense. And then just relationships in my life in general have always been very, very one-sided. So it's like I'm always doing for everybody, but nobody ever really does for me. And then I made that connection. I was like, oh shit, that's why. Or people who like gifts, you know, or gift giving and stuff like that. It's usually because they didn't really receive that as a kid, so on and so forth. You guys see where I'm going with this. Let me know if that makes sense or it resonates. But yeah, I just felt like putting that out there. um Top of the deck, we have connect to eternity within. Interesting. Let yourself be held by love. That's here. Middle of the deck, we have breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe in. No. Breathe in. Practice breath work today. um Remember I was talking about being present? Your breath work allows you to really feel that sense of presence, holding your chest or your tummy, and feeling your chest go up and down and your tummy go up and down with that air that comes in and out of your body. Earlier I was very aware of like my own heartbeat. Like I was able to hear it. It's very interesting. And it was like dead silent in the house. And I had nothing on. Like when I say nothing on, I mean like no TV. I had on clothes. Um, but yeah, like I felt very present in that moment as I kind of like felt my own heartbeat, and I was like, wow, that's power. I don't think that we realize the power that our bodies possess, that we possess sometimes, and that's why feeling that sense of presence is so important. Knowing that here in this physical vessel that we occupy here, that we have so much going on in there, you know what I mean? So many different processes that happens every single second that we don't even think about, you know what I mean? Including breathing, our hearts beating, you know what I mean? Things like that. The blood running through our veins, so on and so forth. So it might be a good time to meditate and really just really sit with self and feel all of that. Wow, I sound like a hippie or something. If I didn't know any better, I would think I were high as a kite right now. But nope, I wish. Nope, but I'm not. That was some hippie sounding shit, though, wasn't it? Oh, man. All right. Let's see. Let's see. What else is going on with the collective? I just want to shuffle these bad boys. So this is the Healing Waters deck. Then we'll get a message from the Ascended Masters, and then one affirmation to close off the reading. I think that'll be it. So a few more minutes on this. I'm lying when I say a few more minutes. I don't even know why I would lie to y'all about a few more minutes. Y'all know how I read. All right. The Pink Dolphin. Celebration, fun, unbridled joy, and open heart. Time to celebrate self. Celebrate these victories. Do something fun with friends, maybe. something worth celebrating. I feel like every day is a celebration if you really want it to be. I know a lot of us can get caught, myself included, can get caught up on, the stuff that's not going right. You know what I mean? That we wish was different, so on and so forth. And, I'm just kind of feeling like, a lot of times we don't always recognize that, every day is worth celebrating, opening our eyes and, taking a breath of air, Again, remember I was talking about that sense of feeling present, right? Feeling, the breath going in and out of your body, feeling your heartbeat when you put your hand on your chest. And when you're really connected with yourself, you can even hear it. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Like in a good way. Um, but yeah, this is definitely a time to understand the importance of, celebrating life, even, when things feel a little bit, gloomy, so to speak. Right? All right. So let's pick maybe 3 or 4 from here. Let's do like 3. Like I said, I do hope that this message has been resonating with somebody. All right. We've got Lady of the Lake. Interesting. New beginnings. Something is about to happen. New beginnings. Yep. Yep. You guys know it. You feel it. It's going down. um, Tell us more. I think we got 2 here. All right. So we've got King Tide. It says plenty, prosperity, receiving the fullness of life here. Nice. Like I said, there's a lot of things getting ready to happen. Shift and change. We have thank you, gratitude, appreciating what's sustaining you. Showing, like I said, being able to, every day when we wake up, being able to understand how valuable that gift is, the gift of life. That in and of itself is prosperous. It's not always about the monetary things. Or things that most people deem as valuable. Being here right now with you guys is valuable to me. Being able to deliver this message is valuable to me. All I'm doing is shuffling some cards and giving you guys a reading, but it feels important, and I'm grateful for you guys, and being able to have the capacity to do this. But yeah, showing gratitude. I'm also getting, for some of you might benefit from writing in a gratitude journal. Remember I was talking about journaling earlier. Some of you might benefit from that. Or even if you don't like write it down, you could just say it out loud. You could just wake up and say, if you pray in the morning or anything like that, you could just say, God, or whatever you believe in, thank you for waking me up this morning. I'm grateful. You could say like 3 things. I'm grateful for, a peaceful night of sleep. I'm grateful for waking waking up in a positive mood. I'm grateful for having a job to go to. I don't know. Or when you get out your car, I'm grateful that I had a safe commute. I pray every single time I get in and out of my car. Things like that. So I'm picking up on something along those lines. For some of y'all, that might be beneficial. Let's get maybe 1 or 2 more from here. The Well Maidens. Kindness, respect, reverence, and compassion. Did I not say something about, yeah, I did, not being judgmental, right? Letting go of judgment. It's giving me that kind of thing, showing yourself that sense of self-compassion and compassion to others, right? That's about that letting go of judgment. Understanding that we all do make mistakes, giving yourself and others grace, right? Rather than holding on to resentments and things like that. Getting something along those lines. Wow, that's crazy. Holy shit. I just happened to look on the bottom of the deck. It says into the unknown. That's the Fool energy that we were talking about earlier. Underworld, depth, courage, because we did see the strength card, and facing your fears. Yeah, this is fucking scary. Right? Having to face these things, and it's gonna feel like you're doing it all by your damn self, because you kind of sort of are. I mean, in the 3D, yeah. But on an energetic plane, you know, you have support. But it's definitely going to feel very isolating. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat this shit for you. But you'll realize that, you know, the relationships and stuff that are meant to be fostered will be the ones that will remain. So you'll know which ones. You'll know. All right. So we have... I love that one, Tears. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you guys. I love y'all. All right, so we have two cards here. We have the Pearl. It says alchemy, the reward at the end. From grit to grace. You can't make this shit up. Wow. Yeah, this is literally about transmutation, right? Transmuting this dark energy that, you know, has happened in the past, that's been lingering on for a very long time. You're transmuting. So, you know, and it's just funny because I literally just said something about grace, and then a card comes up talking about grace. Yeah, it's really, really crazy. And then we saw like several cards representing things about endings, right? And what comes from those endings. Wow, that is so cool. Ironically, I did see the magician, the magician card. It wasn't like in the spread or anything, but I did see it like while I was shuffling and stuff. It was one of the cards like when there was that little deck that kind of like split from everywhere else. It was one of the cards that was in there. But yeah, it's definitely like just giving, like, if you know how a pearl is made, it's literally like, if I understand, it's like when there's like a piece of, like a grain of sand, you know, within the shell, and then, you know, it, that particular mollusk keeps on create, like, as a defense mechanism basically to deal with the pain, it keeps on like, it keeps on putting some substance around it, and it hardens, and it gets bigger and bigger, and it turns into a pearl. I don't have all the scientific like terms and stuff. I'm not gonna sit here and I know them because I'll be lying. But I do have the overall concept of how pearls are made, and yeah, you know, it's transmutation, right? Taking something that's painful and turning it into something that's beautiful. But we also have that came out with that, the ripple effect, part of something bigger. Details are being taken care of. Exactly. So, you know, in the 5D, right, past us, right, not here in the 3D. We're in the 3D here. So sometimes we can't, you know, again, like my girl would say, we can't tell our ass from our elbows sometimes. When we're going through these kind of things, and we're, you know, in the middle of it. But you know, you can't see the forest from the trees sometimes, right? When you're going through these kind of situations, these tough times. But, you know, they're definitely just saying like, it's definitely gonna all come together. They have a plan, right? That you're executing or meant to execute, and they're a part of it. I actually think I'm gonna pull. I didn't feel the need to do it before, but I'm gonna pull from my ancestor deck too, because I do feel like they want to say something. So I'm gonna pull from there as well. Yeah, let it rain. Allow what is, inevitability, and trust, right? Trusting the process, understanding that you can try to prolong this change if you want to. Like I mentioned ego death earlier. Ironically enough, there's 5 people in here, and 8 likes adds up to 13 death and rebirth vibes. So, right? Did I do my math right? Yeah. Making sure I'm not sounding like a dumbass. But yeah. And let it go. Release the past. Forgive, soften, and move forward. Wow. That's here in the middle of the deck. It's pretty powerful shit, guys. All right. So, since I said I was going to read from here, I'm going to do that real quick. I'm going to read from the ancestor deck real quick. Maybe 3 cards from here. Keep it simple. And then I'm going to pull 2 more decks after this, and that will be the end of the reading. And the other ones, I'm not going to pull that many cards. It's just like quick messages And then, yeah, that'll be it. So for those of you who have been here and receiving this message, I really hope that you've been finding it helpful and informative. I hope it gives you some hope and faith when it comes to navigating this part of your journey. That's really all I'm trying to make sure I do. That I feel like that's what I'm meant to do, and that's what I'm here doing right now, trying to live in my purpose. We have Mirror Guardian here on the bottom of the deck. It says, take time to reflect. Yeah, it's kind of giving me like that hermit mode, you know, soul searching. They really want you to do that inner work at this time, which is the whole purpose of this reading. So let's get like 3 from here. It says Oracle, wait for important information. Interesting. I'm getting that, you know, because this is going to be such a very new thing for you, and you might not have all of the insight about it, that I'm getting like you're gonna probably be getting some really wicked ass dreams and downloads and stuff like that, and it's gonna be like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you're gonna be like, what is this shit? I just want to sleep. But yeah, I think that you're gonna get messages. Like, I know it doesn't say anything because there actually is a card about dreams in this one, but that's why I just picked up on them. So it's definitely giving me like crown chakra vibes. Like there's going to be some very important information that you're going to be receiving as downloads. It's also giving me like this high priestess again. So definitely be open to that information as it comes in, because that's information that's meant to help you during this time. Yeah, because look, guardian angel, you are not alone. You are not alone. All right, put 2 more from here. Thank you. Winter, take care of your needs, okay? Gotta take care of yourselves. Preaching to the choir over here. I need to do better with that my damn self. But yeah, they really want you to start taking better care of yourself. I'm also getting, I don't know, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not sure if some of you guys get soup. I mean, a lot of us get sick in the wintertime. But what I mean is, like, if any of you get like really, really sick during the winter, like they really want you guys to make sure you start like, you know, really taking that into consideration, because I don't know if like, I don't know, like it's weird. Like I'm trying to get the message. I'm sorry, bear with me. Like obviously a lot of people get sick during the winter time. That's just typical. But like, you know, because we're you know exposed to germs that are just stuck and trapped into, you know, wherever we're at. So that's why we get more sick during the winter time. But like it's almost like a warning. Like I don't like saying things like that, because I don't want y'all to be like, this bitch done put a hex on me by telling me that I'm gonna get really super sick in the winter. But like, you know, I don't know why. Maybe like if any of you guys have breathing problems, and it's funny because I just picked up on that energy a couple of nights ago when I read too, that some of y'all might have like really bad like sinus infections, ear infections, throat stuff going on in the winter, bad asthma. So if those are things that you might, some ailments that you might deal with, maybe that's why they're telling me to say this, because like I'm like, everybody gets sick in the fucking winter time. But it's just like, it seems like it's a little bit more like they're really pushing that. They're like, please tell them to make sure that they get looked at or something like that, or make sure you get like a treatment or something, especially if you have asthma. I don't know why they're telling me to say that. Not that I don't know why, because obviously that's pretty important, but like they really wanted me to like push that message. Um, sorry. We have mountains on the bottom of the deck. Stand your ground. Interesting. Maybe like if you go to the doctor and they try to tell you that nothing's wrong, and you have to maybe like force them to run extra tests or something. Yeah, something like that. Let's get 1 or 2 more. They gave me 2, so I'm gonna take them. All right. So we have Magic Guardian, unlock the magic within. So some of you guys might come from a background, especially with that High Priestess that showed up more than once in this reading, and that type of energy that showed up more than once as well. I'm kind of getting that, you know, for those of you who resonate with the idea that you guys have abilities and stuff as well, they might, like, you might be getting like a heightening almost of those different gifts that you've got going on. Um, yeah, that could be why that Oracle card is there too, that first card that showed up from the deck. Um, Almost like they're going to be kind of, again, you might start receiving some downloads about some of your abilities, is what I'm kind of getting here. Very interesting, very cool. So it might be one of those kind of things that kind of run in the family, but again, that could have been something that was hush hush too, like people didn't talk about it, like, oh yeah, auntie so and so, they be like dibbling and dabbling in like voodoo and shit, right? And like they're not even a voodoo person, they just happen to know some stuff or have some abilities. But then they start like demonizing like something. I'm getting something weird like that. But we also have shaman here. It says trust in higher forces. That came out with that card. So just saying, some of you guys might be shamans, some of you guys might have the ability to manipulate energy like as magician type energy, something like that. But yeah, some of you might be natural healers too. Medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Now this is interesting because what was I just saying about the energy I was picking up on? That energy about the winter card that said take care of your needs, and then we had that other card that said wait for important information. I'm almost getting that it's like almost like a little bit of a warning there too. A couple of messages I'm receiving from this. One, the fact that, like I just said, you might have to be the one like to tell a doctor or something like that, like if they try to, excuse me, I've been sitting in the same position way too long and now my like knee is locked up. Ow. Shit. Don't get old, guys. Don't get old. Just joking. But oof, that hurt. Yeah, so maybe you'll do some research on something and you'll be like, hey, doc, so I feel like this is what might be going on with me. And they might try to say, no, everything's fine. And you're gonna have to kind of be the one to stand your ground and say, nah, run that fucking test. Don't play with me. Like, this is my health here. Like, you're not about to sit here and tell me, that everything's fine when I know clearly something's wrong. I'm getting something like that. I hope that is nothing crazy and serious, but they're definitely letting me know to tell you guys that. So just make sure. You've been feeling off, especially already. Like, definitely look into that. I'm also getting that I was saying before, some of you guys might come from a line of people in your family who, did practice some like herbology and things like that. It might come from from witches and things like that. Hoodoo, I'm getting those kind of backgrounds. But you guys like might come from like a line of healers, and now they really want you to kind of step into that as well. Um, so that's kind of interesting and cool. And then we have hermit. So we had hermit mode more than once in this reading. Retreat and recharge. They really want you to take care of your physical vessel is what I'm getting. That seems very important at this time. And we have air guardian. It says shift your perception. So I'm also getting that they want you to know that, shifting your mindset when it comes to the different things going on in your life, which we did speak of earlier, way early in the reading, that energy of making sure that you're not too caught up on, all this shit that's been happening. And, a lot of you guys, I feel like, have not been sleeping well and things like that. They really want you to mellow out, okay? Trust me, I understand the whole like not sleeping thing because I definitely struggle with my sleep too for probably similar reasons. But so I'm gonna say we need to work on it. All right, so wow, look at that, you can't make this shit up. Okay, so I split the deck. So we have green Tara. It says, or Tara, I think it's Tara. Healing light. It says what wellness unfolding, which goes back to that card we were just talking about. Know that healing is a journey. Wow. I'm going to read that again. It says healing light, wellness unfolding. Know that healing is a journey. That's deep. Wow. Along with Ishtar here, it says inner learnings, follow your heart, truth prevails. The truth prevails by, that's crazy. By speaking your truth, that's when the healing is going to start for some of y'all who are resonating with this reading. Holy shit, that's crazy. Wow. And then it's like, it says inner learnings. Again, giving that secretive vibe, right? Wow. Those secrets have to be let go of. It's time to speak your truth. So I'm gonna get like maybe 3 from here. And then we'll get an affirmation at the end to close it out. Wow. The truth shall set you free. Damn. All right. So we have, probably gonna say the name wrong, but I'm gonna try. Joao Cool, I think is how you pronounce that. There's sirens going on outside, so this message is important. Every time I read now, every time, there's always a siren. That or car alarms. Divine mission, it says enlightened action, make choices from the heart. Yeah, taking action. But this is a choice, right? To go into your divine mission that you've been called to embark on. Wow. It's like, I love when these readings happen like this, like where everything comes back full circle, you know? It's literally like a story, you know, well-rounded story at the end. All right, so we have Hathor here. It says light activation, acceleration, brilliance, stand in your light. Nice, I like that. I like that, I like that. We have, let's see, let's get 2 more. Kalima, divine severance. Cut the cords. Did I not say something about I felt cord cutting earlier? Cut the cords to dramas, fears, and limitations. Wow. Holy shit. One more from here. More sirens out there. Sound like they're getting closer now too. You have Isis. It says, reclaiming magic. Call back your power and what is rightfully yours. Bottom of the deck, we have Hilarion. Says divine emergence, be seen, let the world know your gifts. Now remember, okay, first off, let me start with this card is in the reverse on the bottom of the deck, right? So remember I was saying that some of you guys might have some gifts and stuff that you kind of, you know, haven't really been exploring, or you know, keep them under wraps. I said that earlier. That's some confirmation that they really want you to start, like, you know, putting yourself out there more, especially those of you in this community who are kind of doing what I do, but in your own capacity. They really want you to start stepping into that more. Ishtar is here again. On the top, inner learnings, follow your heart, truth prevails. Middle of the deck, we have Guru Ramda. It says, miraculous moment, harmony surrounds you, expect miracles. I believe in miracles. Where you from? You sexy thing, you. I believe in miracles. Since you came along, you sexy thing. Where did you come from, baby? You guys know I'm in that, right? How did you know I needed you? Wow. Look. So what did I say earlier several times about this journey and how it's going to feel? Loneliness. I know that I am never alone. And we did see that card that said you are not alone. That card is long gone. I was already shuffled the cards since then. But you guys did see that from the ancestors, right? They're like, yes, this is going to be hard. You are going to feel alone. You're going to feel like a recluse, blah, blah, blah. But you are never actually alone. They're going to always be by your side, as long as you want them to be, of course, to help you through these times. Like, this is not going to be a journey that you're going to do all by yourself. It's going to feel like it, yes, but there's more to it, right? And they also want you to practice some patience. It says, I accept that everything happens in divine order. Yeah. So, again, this is probably something that you put on hold for a while, but been feeling called to do it. And now they're like, okay, time waits for no one, my friend. You need to get down to business. It's time. You've been chosen and you've been called, and it's time to do this. Um, no more pussyfooting around it. Like, you got it's time to do it. Um, it's probably nerve wracking too, right? Especially that speaking your truth part. Oof. We have doubt here on the bottom of the deck. I release the need to know all the answers. So, you might be dealing with a lot of self doubt. We already kind of saw that energy before. Feeling like you're not good enough for something, you're not ready. But they're like, oh, you're ready, you're good enough, you're beyond good enough. It's just a matter of, believing in yourself more. So let's just get one affirmation from this deck to close out the reading. And that, I think, will be it. I do feel drawn to read from possibly one more deck, because y'all already know how this goes. I'd be lying when I say that everything is over sometimes. But, all right, we have honesty here. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can't expect it from myself. Wow. That's deep. I can't always expect the truth from others. Remember, we were talking about all those secrets and stuff, things being hush hush, put under the rug, but I can always expect it from myself. Your truth, your story, very, very important at this time. And it's going to make a lot of impact, whether it's within your own family, for other people. I'm getting for somebody who might resonate with this. I'm getting somebody might decide to do some type of like seminars or something about abuse or something like that, or healing from childhood wounds. I'm getting something like that. Podcasts, workshops, workbooks, um, interviews, might write a book. What else am I getting? There's something about really sharing your experience and your story some kind of way that's going to help a lot of other people. Wow. I just heard there's a song by a singer named Amel Larue. For those of you who remember, who are into R&B, like 90s R&B, if you guys remember that group Groove Theory, the ones who sing tell me if you want me to, if you want my time, wanna make it good for you. So the lead singer from that group, her name is Amel Larue. Love her. I saw her in concert a long time ago. She was great. Um, but her second album is called Brave Bird. So the title track of that album is it's a hard song for me to listen to. I cry every time I listen to it, but it's a great song. And it's about, like, basically, the song itself is about like female circumcision in another country, like an African country. But it's about a girl who's like like she seeks refuge from that and tells her story. So the whole point I'm making here is, you know she says in the song, when you shared your secret with the world, you saved another mother's child. That's one of the parts of the chorus. And it's a beautiful song. And not only is it a beautiful song, but it's definitely like one of those haunting songs when, like, you think about like the experiences that other people have that you might not have had, or you had something similar to it. And being able to speak up for what has happened to you, if that resonates at all. you know that bravery that it takes to be able to free yourself, right? And rid yourself of holding those things in. So your story might really impact a lot of people. We have empathy on the bottom of the deck. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. Envy. I saw a card about envy earlier too. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Wow, did I not say that earlier in the reading? Not in those exact words, of course, but I talked about, sometimes we could get envious of other people, not knowing what their story was and how they got there. Crazy how it's all coming back full circle. And we have change in the middle of the deck. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movements. Wow. Holy crap, man, that was powerful. I am gonna, cause you guys know I'm a fucking liar sometimes. The girl's a liar. The girl's a liar. But in the best of ways in this particular case, because I'm just giving you guys more cards. So I got drawn to read from another great deck that that my my soully slash sister slash bestie, she gave me these messages of closure, and these cards are super powerful because, like, she's such a powerful reader, and the energy I get anytime I read from this deck is always so, like, deep every time. So I felt drawn to read from them. Oh, whoa, what the fuck? Like, okay, look at this. Now, what are the odds? As I split the deck, look. So we got, first off, let's read that card. It says, I regret my poor choices. So for some of you, people who either, like, you might have lost somebody who was involved in some of the secretiveness that we were talking about, or it could just be saying that this is like their higher self speaking right now, saying that this is how they feel now that they, what the fuck are you guys doing at almost midnight making all that noise? Make it make sense. My God, bring your asses to sleep. Just joking. But look, why would this card, when I split the deck, this is from a whole different deck. This is one of my tarot cards. Didn't even realize it was in there. What are the odds that when I split the deck that's right there? And it says Knight of Wands, which is about, I'm going to just read the whole thing. It says, being hasty, quick decisions, ambition, generosity, a journey, sexual adventures, that's fun, active, ardent, energetic people, negotiators, debaters, competitors, sportsmen, those who love a challenge. Did we not talk about how this is going to be a challenge for you guys? And there's going to be a lot of movement. We have to really, almost like to see the change, you have to be the change. Is giving me that. I also kind of heard like the ending of Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson, when he says, make that change. And those of you who ever seen like the actual like long form of the video, like from Moonwalker, if you ever watched it, still one of my favorites to this day. And yeah, I just saw that in my head and heard him say that, make that change. But yes, anywho, didn't even know this card was missing. That has been there for a while, didn't even realize. But what was underneath that is I don't know why. So yeah. They regret their poor decisions and don't know why they did some of the things that they did. Maybe, keeping secrets and things like that, or being the one to actually act upon something. Getting different messages on that part. Alright, so I'm gonna get maybe 3 or 4 from here, and then that will really fully truly be it. Then it will be full closure. Okay. Messages of closure, literally. Alright, so let's see. It's okay if I seem far away. So for somebody, it's gonna be more like it doesn't have to be an actual passed on loved one. Yes, this deck could be about that, but then sometimes it could represent endings of like relationships and that person, like I said, their higher self, and things that they would like to say to you, but they just haven't been able to. So just take it as it resonates. But it does say it's okay if I seem far away here on the bottom of the deck. So maybe the distance and stuff that you feel when it comes to this person, maybe it's because they realize that they fucked up. Like their higher self might be like, I need to be out of your life so that you can move on or something like that. Use your discernment too on these particular cards, because they're going to mean different things for every single person. Some of them might not resonate at all, and then some of them you'll be like, oh, I know what that card means in my particular story. So just, you know, pay attention to that. Wow. 2 cards. I realize how much I hurt you. Came out along with I'm so proud of you. Wow. Maybe they're proud of you because you're the one who's going to be breaking these curses? Question mark. After realizing that, they hurt you so much in whatever way, shape, or form that might have been. That's why they were saying, forgiveness, having a sense of grace and all that stuff. No, like practicing no judgment and things like that. Very important at this time to be able to move forward. I see things differently now. 2 more. I did not expect to leave. So for some of you guys, again, getting more than one message here. For some of you, it's somebody who has passed on. For others, it could be, remember I was talking about like abandonment issues? Whether it's a mother or a father figure. For some of you, if you did experience abandonment issues, because I did pick up on that energy earlier, they didn't mean to, they did not expect to leave the way that they did or mean to do that. They made a choice that was probably just not the best choice at that time, but they thought it was the best choice. Something along those lines. Wow, that's deep. Look at that. Look on the bottom of the deck. Some part of me knew. That's fucking bugged out, bro. One more. Wow. I just decided to look on the bottom just to see what was there before pulling one more card. Some part of me knew, though. That's crazy. I wish you love and happiness. They want to see you happy. They realize that, excuse me, that a lot of their choices definitely caused you some angst. But now they're like, I want the best for you. And that's, I think, why there's that distance. So like if this is a passed on loved one, for instance, they probably don't really visit you much because they know that like it won't do anything. It won't do any good for you when it comes to this part of the journey at this time. You need to heal. Sometimes that distance is needed in order to heal. Getting something like that. And even if they're still around, same difference. All right. Bottom of the deck, I regret the time we lost. Top of the deck, I am helping you now. So somebody who's passed on is helping you. You're part of that spiritual team that I was referring to. And I will show you some signs and synchronicities. Did I not say earlier that you're going to be getting a lot of downloads and stuff like that from them to help you push forward and persevere? Now, keep in mind the energies that showed from this particular deck, those are different energies. Like, some of them is like your spiritual team. Some of them is the person who hurt you, who, is a lot going on, right? So you have to use your discernment on this particular deck in particular. But yes, with all that said, I love you guys. That was a lot. A lot to uncover, right? A lot going on with you guys at this time that you're working on, but you guys are doing the damn thing. Your spiritual team is definitely, your ancestors, so on and so forth, are definitely on your side. This will be a very, very, how can I put it? Difficult journey. But I do feel like, you guys, I just heard from grit to grace, and it's funny because I'm hearing it, but it's also a reminder of a card that literally said that on it. So yeah, they wanted me to emphasize that card. They're like, that's you guys, like really transmuting this energy to do something positive with it, and you're gonna do some great things. So with that said, keep your head up. Don't, I know it sounds like a cliche, but like really, like, keep your head up. Understand that these trials and tribulations, these tower moments, and the dark night of the soul, all the stuff that you've been feeling, and trust me, I get it, because I've been kind of going through my own stuff too. It's all meant to, help make you not just stronger, but it's also a way for you to be able to essentially clear, some old residual shit when it comes to the bloodline. You know, those generational curses that have been passed down. It stops with you. Um, you're not gonna bleed onto your kids or your grandkids like the people before you bled onto you, right? Aunts, uncles, grandparents, whatever, parents. Um, yeah. So like I said, I hope that you guys resonated with this message. Thank you for rocking with your girl for almost 2 hours. I did not expect this reading to be that long, but I should have known better. Anytimes like the heavier readings, they're usually pretty long. So yeah, I love you guys. Keep up the great work on this part of your journey and your healing. And I hope that this was helpful and that it resonated. So until next time, you guys get some rest. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And yeah, love y'all. Good night.